This is Blaine Perry from ThatAin'tBlack.com, the That Ain't Black podcast. My podcast was started about like 6 months ago. It's about African American black people in America who are into things that aren't considered normally what most black folks or what they don't think that black folks don't do. And it's a wide range of things from business, sports, activities, lifestyles, and hobbies and everything. And I got my guest Eric Morris from Non-Typical Outdoorsmen, and he's a African American or black hunter who wants to try to encourage more minorities and more people of color, especially black people and stuff like that, to go outside the city and enjoy the outdoors. How you doing, Eric?
Hey, I'm doing good, Blaine. How about you?
All right, man. All right. Hey, I'm really glad to have you on the show, man. I'm really, because I was into hunting. I got myself into the sport about like 20 years ago, and I'm gonna be honest. When I got into it, I went out to a friend's house to watch a football game. Went outside to not went outside. Went out to the garage to go get a beer. Open up the refrigerator and it's full of meat. And I'm like, damn, what y'all rob a grocery store or something? And Rhonda's really cool girl. Who's hosted a party. She said, "No, my husband hunts and everything like that, and him and his brothers go out, once a year. They grew up that way. You go ahead and get you a gun, go out to the mountains, and you got to fill up the fridge. You got three hungry boys out there, and they need to get fed. And their mom, they grew up with it and stuff like that. And I got interested in it, but coming from the inner city, being black myself." I was interested in it, but had no idea how to get into it, where to go, where to ask questions, or anything. I was really interested. I wanted to go to the mountains. It's really beautiful. It's definitely different from the city. I mean, totally. It's night and damn day different. But I didn't know where to go, where to get started, who to ask for. Definitely didn't know any other black people that I knew who was into it. I know my grandma used to do this. She told me you should go out to get the 22 and go out and pop a few rabbits and stuff like that, put food on the table. But I didn't know where to go, and I was kind of afraid and didn't know who to ask. So if there's anybody like me, because I definitely know there's going to be some more people interested in doing it once they get wind of it, how do they get started as a person of color to get out into the outdoors?
Well, Blaine, I've been asked that question 100 times, and what I would tell people is that you get started the same way that white people and anybody else get started. You first, realize that you have an interest. Oftentimes, when it comes to white hunters, black hunters too. I mean, but I just say hunters. Oftentimes, when it comes to hunters, people who come from a hunting background, the hunting background, their parents, their uncles, or whoever would typically take them out into the woods and show them how to hunt. So, that's how, a lot of people get started. But for those who are not exposed to someone in the family that hunt or have someone around to take them hunting, a lot of your states, Department of Natural Resources have avenues and programs to help introduce people to hunting. The very first step, though, is to take a hunter education class. I'm a hunter education instructor for 2 states. And that's the first step. You can hunt in a lot of states without having a hunter education class for your first year. But after that first, and you would need an apprentice license to hunt for that first year. But after that first year, you have to get your hunter education. But I would tell people, there's really no reason why, black folks or anybody else, can't hunt or shouldn't be hunting. You just have to make the effort to go out there and seek the resources and seek the path to, just seek what you need to start hunting.
Okay, now let me ask you this question. When I first started doing it, and I'll be open and honest and stuff like that, because we want some brothers here. My biggest thing was, the white folk gonna shoot you, man. They're gonna lynch you, man. That's the biggest thing. That was the biggest. I must have heard that. You probably heard it. I heard it 1,000 times. You probably must have heard it probably 10,000 times. And I used to joke around with them, and I said, well, I'm out here. I'm in the woods. First of all, I'm in the woods, not a lot of white folks around. Second of all, I mean, let's be honest with you, I got a bigger chance of getting shot in the inner city than I do out there. And I used to joke around, take the joke even further. At least I do have a rifle to be able to defend myself if something was going to happen, okay? The average person, like me, I'm black, coming from the inner city and stuff like that. Your probability of getting hurt or whatever that like that, if something happened, is a lot more probability in an inner city than it is out there. And what can you sit back and say to try to convince people to overcome that phobia? Because I'm like I said, I heard it 100 times. So go ahead, and give me a little input on that.
Well, Blaine, here's what I would tell you and your listeners. And I'm a realist when it comes to talking about things like this. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I don't tiptoe around it. I just say it.
Thank you, bro.
And what I'll tell you and your listeners is that there are two kind of black people out there.
Mm.
You have the ones who are adventurous and will go do what they want to do, and you have those who will sit back and find reasons why they can't do it or let somebody talk them out of doing it. What you
Exactly.
said earlier about, having, scared the white folks going to get you, that kind of stuff, that has been around probably since emancipation, before
Mm-hmm.
emancipation.
Yeah.
And, it's still around. And I've heard that before. I don't listen to it because one, I'm fearless. I go anywhere. That picture that you all have up of me is from a hog hunt that I was doing out with a spear in Texas. So
Mm.
I'm not scared of anything or anybody. Not that
Yeah.
I go looking for a confrontation, but you have to have a certain mindset, a certain attitude, a certain belief in your confidence in your own. I mean, I guess belief in your ability to be, confident and to just go out there and do it. So for those people who are scared, I mean, I would say one, don't listen to the people who are telling you don't go, the white folks going to get you, because I guarantee you that I know for a fact that they're only telling you what they would do and what they would not do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I would also say this, I know that America has always been a very racist and interesting place,
Mm-hmm.
and it still is. However, you have a lot of white folks out there, a lot of white hunters who would go out of their way to take you as a black person hunting and to
Exactly.
show you what they know.
Exactly. That's what I.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, go ahead.
No,
Go
go
ahead. Go
ahead,
ahead.
man. I want because that's what happened to me. Because when people sit back up and I start talking about it, like, yeah, bro, come on, man, we'll take you on out and stuff like that. That's good. Because a lot of people want somebody to go hunting with them and stuff like that because
Hmm.
you just can't just get on up, walk on out. No, you got to have a buddy with you. It's kind of like playing basketball, any kind of other sport. You got to have other people participate along with you to do it. It makes it a lot more enjoyable, a lot more fun. The whole experience is totally different when you want to go out there and do it with somebody compared to just doing it by yourself. I'm not trying to encourage anybody to try to run out and be no Rambo or nothing like that and live off the land. No, no, no. You definitely want to go with people, and that's the kind of experience that I had when I've opened up my mind and started opening up my mind and my mouth and start asking questions. So go ahead and elaborate a little bit more how to encourage other minorities and stuff to pursue what you do and like what you like.
Okay. Well, I'll go back and address something that you mentioned about, you don't want to go by yourself. You want to go with somebody. It all depends. Hunting is, do you have different types of hunting? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
most people think of deer hunting or something like that, but for some aspects of hunting is solitary, and it's not designed for group activity. If you go on a deer hunt,
Mm-hmm.
when you're hunting, stalk hunting, hunt out of a tree stand, that's a solo person activity. I hunt by myself the majority of the times. However, for a new person starting out, wanting to learn how to hunt, it is imperative that you go out and find someone who can help mentor you and show you how to hunt. Because on TV, we see people go out, shoot something, and they celebrate everything is great. However, hunting is an art, it's a skill,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes years to develop your skills and ability as a hunter. So, as a new person who may be in Seattle, maybe in or Portland, Oregon, or Atlanta, Georgia, I'm right outside of Atlanta, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not from the inner city. I'm a country boy. I grew up in Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
country. But for those people who want to go out, it does help to have someone to take you out, kind of show you the ropes. Um, and there are a lot of different organizations around. I'm going to plug a few that I know of.
Go ahead.
Well, one is Black American Outdoors with David Bethea. Him and a few guys run that organization on Facebook, and they are about getting more diversity out there in the outdoors. And I've met those guys. At least I met David, I should say, and believe in what they do. And so I support them and encourage them to keep doing what they're doing. You have other Facebook groups, Association of African American Outdoorsmen, and different other groups. So it helps if you have a person who is already hunting to take you out and kind of show you what kind of gun to get, what to do, what not to do. Just to
Exactly.
help teach you. It helps do that. So that's how you get started.
Cause you could probably avoid some of the pitfalls that I did. Cause I remember looking online. Cause that was my only resource of information I had at that time, and I want to get the biggest thing. I want to get a bazooka gun. I want to give me 300 Win Mag. Yeah, I'm trying to shoot
Yeah,
out
you don't
thousand
need a 300
yards.
win mag.
And I'm
You don't
like,
need all that.
no, I didn't know. I was like, I'm trying to be big boss, man. Look, I want to get the big, huh? Yeah, I want to get that power, you know. Then I sat back up there, started trying to buy some of them bullets, and like, wait a minute, this is
Yeah.
what
And then
350,
300
4
win
bucks a
mags
piece.
and
Yeah.
yeah, $54 about 300 win mag. 300 win mag is cheap compared to 300 Weatherby mag.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I was trying to get that because I said, look, oh, this Weatherby got more power, dog. That's what
yeah,
I want to
yeah,
get. I want that power. I want. He said, man, you. The guy stepped back and told me, hey, man, we ain't taking out no damn elephants here, okay, bro?
right.
Okay, you get you a I-6 308 for
Yeah,
you, you know the
270.
term. Yeah, those are
Right,
perfectly. Those are regular rifles that have been taking down game in North
right.
America for the last past 100+ years and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that. You can
oh
the
yeah.
ammo's everywhere and everything like that. I
Uh-huh.
won't get into the terms of it because I know about it, you know about it, but the listeners out there who probably don't know about it, those are typical. Um, I won't say cartridges. I'll say bullets or
Calibers.
whatever, calibers or
No,
whatever like that.
calibers. The correct
It,
term is calibers.
calibers, yeah. Thank you, sir. Calibers that you are really be available and you can pick up relatively cheap and stuff like that. And of course, you know you're not trying to take down elephants or rhinos or nothing like that. Okay. Okay, so don't do what dumb Blaine did and try to be the macho man, and you know you ain't trying to shoot into the next zip code. Okay.
No. But here's the thing though, Blaine, a lot of people make the same mistake. That's why I encourage people. I try to try to have people, as many people as I can, to contact me before they buy a gun.
Hmm.
Because with a lot of people, they have no clue. The only thing they
Just
know,
like I
is
did. Yep. Just like me.
hey,
Raise
at
my
least
hand.
you yeah, I'm about to say, at least you got the courage to raise your hand and admit it, because a lot of people don't have a clue. They know AR-15 because that's what they see. They think having an AR-15 is it, and you can hunt with some AR-15s,
Uh huh.
but there are other calibers out there. Basically, what you want to do is identify what do you want to hunt throughout your lifetime, because you can buy one gun to do it all,
Yeah.
and a 270, 30-06, 308, they would do it. The magnums, here's the thing. A lot of people probably will cringe when I say this, but it's true. You don't need a magnum.
No.
You don't
No.
need a magnum
No.
at all.
No.
Those magnums are designed for, really longer range, and most deer in America are shot inside of 100 yards.
Yeah, I
That
found
means
that out. I found that out the
that
hard
means that
way.
a 30-30 lever action would do all you need, will cover anything you need.
Mm.
But sometimes we get into the different ballistics and think we need this and that, and it's all about shot placement. It's not about the size of the caliber. It's about shot placement, knowing how to hunt. I can go on and on with that though, but I just say that try to get in front of somebody who know what they're talking about. At the end, I give you my contact information. You can contact me if you're trying to make a decision about what guns to buy, what calibers or whatever. That's what I do. I specialize in teaching people how to shoot and hunting. I hunt and run the show for a living.
Okay, you can save yourself a lot of time and a lot of money. Cause like I'll give you another example. I was sitting back trying to get me a scope that can see Pluto and everything like that. I'm like, oh yeah, I need something about $1,500, $2,000, something like. Yeah, yeah, I could really. No, 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 no. I wasted a lot of. A 3x9 typical scope like that would work
Three by
out
nine by
just.
40.
Yeah,
3x9 by
exactly.
40 will work just fine. About all you need.
Exactly. You don't have to spend a gazillion dollars. You don't have to run
No.
out there and get the most expensive thing on the market. 'Cause I thought, oh, this gun must be better. This thing costs 3,000. This only one costs 2,500. So the $3,000 one must be a lot more better than the other one. And I didn't know it. That's what I was. I was. I'll go. Let me go ahead and stop myself before I embarrass my mama even further by my stupidity. Okay.
Hey, some people look at it that way. Some people think that the more money you spend, hey, I'm gonna tell you this too, and for all your listeners too,
Uh
I'm
huh.
gonna tell you something. It ain't the amount of money you spend on something.
Uh huh.
It's about your ability to make what you buy work.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if you want to see a grown man cry, go
Hmm.
out there with a $200 gun and wear out a joker who's shooting a $2,000 gun.
Yeah.
Because people think that the
Yeah.
more money they spend is gonna make them a better shot,
Uh huh.
but that's
Definitely.
not the case.
All right, now let's go ahead. The opposite side of that is I want to tell. What got me attracted to was the meat and stuff like that. Because I remember I said, I looked at the refrigerator. You can pretty much. I should have started this by showing a picture of a refrigerator open, full of meat and stuff like that. After you
I
done
can
take.
send you one.
Yeah, exactly. That's what got me.
I
That
got
appealed
plenty
to
of pictures
me.
like that.
That appealed to my damn stomach. I'm like, God. I'm like, good Lord, y'all shoot, y'all rob a butcher store or something like that. I'm talking
They
about they
robbed the
been having.
woods.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, and in fact, they got a little problem down in Texas with far as like hogs and stuff. There's abundance of them, and they
Hmm.
pretty much got this. Hey man, you go on out there and do whatever you want to do because the pigs, not the pigs, but the boar or whatever like that. They're tearing every damn thing up and left and right, and they're like, y'all, man, just go out there and get what y'all want to get, and that's some good meat and stuff like that. So go ahead and tell me about the aspects of what can you get once you take a deer down and stuff like that, a deer or elk, boar, or whatever like that, whatever you're hunting.
As far as what can you get from them?
Yeah, okay. What's the technical term I was using? How much
What
the yield or
what kind of
whatever
what kind
like
of
that.
meat do you, yeah, what kind of meat do you how much meat do you normally get? Normally it all depends on the size of the animal.
Yeah,
And to go back, hogs
dressed
and
out,
pigs.
dressed out.
Yeah, yeah. When addressed, how much meat do you get?
Yeah.
Yeah, it all depends on the size of the animal. And to go back to talk about the hogs and boar you said mentioned ago, they're both considered this. I mean, they refer to them as the same thing. Boars are technically the males and the sows are the females, but people typically refer to the pigs as wild boar.
Hmm.
But when you shoot an animal, it all depends on the size. I mean, with a hog, you can eat anything. I mean, everything on it. Deer, you can too. But it all
Hmm.
depends on the size of the animal as to how much meat you get. But really, like I always say, there's no reason for a hunter to go hungry. And
Exactly.
I haven't bought
Exactly.
meat from the grocery store in about 3 years, and I'm not going to buy it anymore. I don't have to. I mean, I eat what I
Mm.
kill, and
Good.
so
Good.
I can't tell you how much a steak costs or whatever. I don't know. Hey,
Man.
I have no need to know because I get everything all my meat from the woods. But you can get a lot of meat, and I would tell people that with an elk is bigger than a deer, Blaine. So
Yeah,
you can get a
definitely,
lot of meat,
definitely. Oh
a
man, you
lot of
get
meat.
once you they call it dressed out. I mean, basically after you get done with how much meat you get versus when you get done with the bones and the skin and all that, how much stuff you taking on home? Pretty much.
Yeah. You do. I mean, yeah, you taking, you normally, I don't eat the heart or the liver, nothing like that, the kidney. Some people do, but
Hmm.
normally, like it's impossible to give a amount of meat. But I would say
Exactly.
if it was in pounds, but I would tell people that if you shoot a deer, that deer will last you probably for if you eat off of it every day, probably about maybe a half a month.
That's good.
Depending how
That's
big your
real
family
good.
is.
Definitely, you
Yeah,
can
and
have
so
some good barbecues, right?
oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Ooh, yeah, that's one of the biggest thing that's going to be most appealing and stuff. Because I mean, you can get a lot of meat. It's really fun to go out there. So, can you go ahead and tell me about any kind of experiences that you have going by yourself or going with a group of people or something like that? To kind of, like any kind of thing else, you want to have some fun doing it. So, what are the benefits of going out into the woods besides, of course, the incredible amount of beauty and freedom that you get?
Well, I'll tell you and the viewers this, Blaine. Different people hunt for different reasons. Some people hunt for the meat. It's also referred to as subsistence. Some people hunt for tradition, to keep the tradition of hunting going. But as far as me, I look at it, I've always enjoyed nature. I've always enjoyed going out to the woods to hunt, being out there, pitting my skills against the animal skills. And some people are, I guess they like to hunt to be around other hunters and camaraderie and just have a good time socially. When I hunt, I'm not out there just to waste time. I'm out there for a purpose, and that's to hopefully try to get something. All the times your hunts aren't successful. However, there's countless times. I mean, the things you see in nature, you won't see anywhere else. As far as places I've been to hunt, I've been to Alaska, I've been to Texas, I've been to uh, South Carolina, New York,
New
going to
York.
Alabama.
You don't associate New York with hunting. Though. When you think New York, you think of Fifth Avenue. You thinking of
I know,
yeah.
but I met a group of guys. Met them before I started my hunting show. I was promoting. I've always been about diversity.
Uh huh.
For the last 11, 12 years, I've been forehead deep in diversity.
Uh huh.
Not just talking the talk like a lot of people do, but walking the walk. And walking the walk has caused me to walk a lot of places. So I ended up in Brooklyn, New York one time.
Hmm.
and met a group of guys up there, and they are stone cold hardcore hunters. You never would know they were from Brooklyn until they open their mouth and hear the accent,
Uh
the New
huh.
York accent. But you're right. You don't think of New York for hunting, and most people don't. But hunters, see, there's a difference. There's people who don't hunt at all, people who kind of hunt here and there, dabble in it, and then you have people who, like myself, who live, eat, sleep, die hunting.
Hmm.
And the hunters know that New York is a excellent place to hunt. People who don't really hunt, or people who maybe haven't quite got to that level yet, don't think so because we hear about the city. But New York, upstate New York, around Catskill, Fishkill, Syracuse, up around those places, they have excellent, excellent hunting. Buffalo, excellent hunting.
Wow. I I didn't know that. I was just thinking of the South. I'm thinking of Texas. I'm thinking of like the wilderness, the like Colorado, Montana, and stuff like that. I never even guessed that you can even hunt in New York. Like I'm just stereotype myself. I'm thinking New York, going down on Fifth Avenue with Broadway and stuff like that. But as far as the hunting, I didn't even know they even had woods there.
Hey, they got a lot of good woods there. Hey, they got woods all over New England. Duck hunting, waterfowl hunting, bear hunting. I mean, I like to hunt bear. They got bear in New York. They got bear in a lot of other places up there, New Jersey, Pennsylvania.
Bear, I'm
Um,
thinking the bear be hunting you.
no, no, not really bear. I was in
Mm.
Alaska back in September hunting bear, and we saw a ton of them and some big ones too. But bear, the thing about black bear is that black bear, although they are capable of inflicting tremendous damage on you,
Uh huh.
they're going to run most of the time.
Yeah, yeah.
But with me, like I said, I get a rush from hunting dangerous animals that can probably, you know, get a few licks in if I'm not careful.
Uh
I
huh.
like hunting that kind of stuff, whether it be hogs, bear, I mean, all of it.
Yeah,
So,
you
um,
the hogs are definitely they'll they really
but
kind
but
of
but but
ornery.
well,
They got some
they are,
attitude to them. Trust
they
me.
are. But if you but a bear is a bear that wants to fight is going to give you a worse day than a hog ever will. If you run across one that want to fight, because a hog only has one defense mechanism, and that's those tusks.
Uh huh.
Well, two, the sheer mass of them, it's just solid. They can,
Oh
run
yeah,
into you, hurt you.
yeah. They can box. Believe me. You don't
But
want to go
yeah,
around them. Yeah, they can throw down.
right. But a bear can throw down better because
Yeah,
a bear are bigger, stronger, got teeth and claws on all 4 feet. So they
yeah.
have multiple ways of inflicting damage on you where a hog really only has one. So,
Okay.
but I like hunting that type of stuff. So, but yeah, New York, New England, they have all types of game animals up there.
Okay, do me a favor. Can you tell me about the state of hunting? Because the last time I checked, it was kind of under decline from everybody, from white people, black people, any kind of minority. It's kind of like people are just Ubering it nowadays. They just, call using their cell phones to get their food. I mean, so basically, overall in general, I heard that the level of hunters in America is steadily being declining for the last past 10, 15 years. Is that true?
Yeah, but I think with the pandemic in 2020, we saw an increase for the first time in years.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
overall, hunting is, and let's face it, it shouldn't surprise nobody. We live in a different time.
Hmm.
And as I often say when I speak at different places, when I talk about hunting or diversity or whatever, this is 2021. Back then it was like 2018 when I was saying this, but it's 2021 now. We live in a different time now than it was in the 1960s and 1940s. And a lot
Hmm.
of older people kind of say, well, it was more of this when I was around. It was more places to hunt when I was around. Well, America's changing. But across the board, is on the decline across all demographics. Um, if the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service produce, I think, but annually or statistics every so many years as to the state of hunting and the amount of people who fish and hunt. And hunting, last time I checked, it was like blacks make up I think like 3% of
Uh huh.
hunters. That's what the statistics say. However, I question those statistics because me being in the realm that I am
Yes, that's
with
really
what I do, I
questionable.
run across a lot of people,
Uh huh.
and I don't think that I know that there's more than 3% of black people that hunt.
Uh huh.
However, and hopefully we get to this on the podcast, but however, that population of the black, I guess that percentage of the black population, I'm getting tongue tied. The
Don't
percentage
worry about
of
it.
the black
Good all the
population
time.
that don't hunt,
Uh huh.
they make it worse for, everybody because they perpetuate that perception and stereotype that black people don't hunt.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
I was at a restaurant 2 nights ago, and I handed a black couple my card. It was in their 50s.
Uh-huh.
Handed the white girl behind the counter my card, the bartender, and gave the couple my card. And the white girl looked at us. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Hmm.
I never have hunted, but it'd be pretty cool. The black woman looked at it and she said, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. She handed the card back to me and said, bro, we don't do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
I
said, you know
ran
what?
into that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but I plug your podcast, Blaine. I said, you know what? I'm gonna be on a podcast in 2 days talking about people like you
yeah, yeah,
because that's
exactly.
stupid. It's stupid,
Yeah,
and that's the perception that we're trying to overcome, Blaine,
that wall of ignorance is high, big.
and and deep
Yeah, yeah. That's
and
that's the
deep.
wall
It's
that
thick,
we're building it. That black people
right?
build, and the one that we vigorously defend. I'm
Right.
like,
Oh yeah.
why are you sitting up there defending the ignorance? I mean, we're sometimes our own worst enemies doing it.
Yes.
I'm
Yep.
like,
That's a known fact.
yeah, I mean, like, what? Why you sitting up here? You don't need nobody in a white hood and a pointy, hooded cowl or whatever like that to sit back and put you down. You putting your own damn self down. You shooting your own self in the foot, fool.
Blaine,
Uh,
what I've often said is this, and I've said this publicly in seminars I've given. I said long before a white person ever tell a black person that they can't do something or they shouldn't do something, a black person has already told another black person that years ago.
exactly,
And
exactly.
so what I try to do with everything that I do, I'm all about, showing and proving,
Hmm.
walking the walk. And you'd be surprised at how many giggles and kind of smirks and you know just laughs I get when I tell people that I hunt. I'm a hunting
Hmm.
guide. I got a hunting show, or whatever. They just ain't used to it. They're
Yeah,
not used
yeah.
to it at all. So what I tend to do is I dropped that. Sorry about that. I stood up for a minute. But
Mm.
what I tend to do is tell people that you have to open your mind. You have to open your mind. You have to, realize that, I mean, just because you're black don't mean that you're kind of put into a box. It don't mean you have a certain box that confined to. You can do
Hmm.
whatever you want to do. And I'm working I'm actually writing a book about black hunters
Hmm.
and, a little bit about the history of us and where we are today.
Hmm.
And black people have always hunted, Blaine. They have always
Exactly,
hunted.
exactly.
My frustration is that when you have a joker who come from a rural hunting background,
Hmm.
who so-called makes it, whether they go to college or get them a good job,
Yeah,
a lot of times they will distance themselves from the hunting life, the hunting
yeah.
background.
Uh huh.
And with me, I'm like, you know what? That's just, I mean, I refuse to do that. I'm a
Hmm.
college educated, retired major from the Army,
Hmm.
and I am as country and rural as they come when it comes to hunting.
And thanks for your
You know,
service, sir.
uh, hey, no problem, no problem. But there's a stigma that's often attached to hunting.
Hmm.
There's a stigma that a lot of black people try to run from.
Uh
Some of
huh.
them, because I know a lot of us, we don't care. We do what we do. But a
Hmm.
lot of black people want to, choose to try to show that they're different. They're not as backwoods as a hunter or whatever. And
Exactly.
I like to eat them jokers alive like a Rottweiler
Uh
because
huh.
oftentimes what they're doing is detrimental to the next black person who want to, hunt or do whatever. When you have
Exactly.
someone standing there saying, bro, we don't do this, or no, I don't hunt. And one black guy had the nerve to tell me he didn't know what a coon was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, where you from? North Carolina. I said, how are you from North Carolina and not know what
Exactly.
a, come on, man, don't feed me that BS. Tell me you don't know what no coon is.
Exactly.
So, I just keep it real. But I know that, there's a lot of black people out there who just, some people just don't hunt, never have hunted.
Uh
Other
huh.
people have, but try to distance themselves from that way of life
Uh
because they don't
huh.
like the image that, they don't like the light under which they're being seen
Yeah.
as,
Because
being a country person.
I think my dad, because they, I guess it's like general, like you would think, oh, you a country boy. Because my dad, I remember he tried to distance himself, like, oh, he didn't like that connotation or whatever like that. Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
ain't no
know.
country boy, Because
Yeah,
they think it gets looked down on. Oh, you just a country boy,
right.
you ain't good
But white
nothing.
people
But
embrace it.
yeah, exactly. They
You
sit back
know,
up, they had that negative perception, and they
right.
trying to want to distance themselves from it and stuff like that. Because I remember to ask My dad asked, and he said, "Oh, I was only there for so long." Every time I asked him about something, he would just brush away from it and try to hide away from it.
Yeah,
Like, I ain't know,
embarrassed.
I ain't do that, But in fact, he was an excellent shooter and stuff like that. Cause my
Huh?
dad grew up in the country shooting and hunting himself, and went to the military. He got an honor for it and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
again, when I asked him something about when I started hunting and stuff like that, he just shut me down. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about, boy. That a long time ago. All the blah blah blah. Only go to visit her for family reunions. He just brushed it up to the side and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I
Oh yeah.
guess it has that negative connotation that they're trying to want to distance themselves from it, and it's stupid, it's dumb, it's ignorant.
I
I
know.
mean, I could go
My
on with
daddy,
some, yeah.
my daddy just told me because my daddy and I are different. I mean,
Uh
that
huh.
I'll be 50 in August, and they still trying to figure out where they got me from
Yeah,
because
exactly. Like, damn,
because
mom, go ahead, and tell
yeah,
me the truth. Am
right.
I really your kid? I mean,
Right. And they try to figure out where they got me from because daddy growing up, daddy's not a hunter. Dad has always told me, black people don't hunt, we
yeah.
don't do this.
Uh
And,
huh.
like he said, well, black people don't really deer hunt. They mainly a small game hunt. When I was coming to a small game hunt. But dad is not a hunter. And he and I are like night and day. I
Uh
mean,
huh.
polar opposites. So sometimes it's a struggle. Me being wild and free and primitive as I am. And, he's like, well, son, I don't really know about that. I don't know.
Because
But,
that's what I
but to
want to
keep,
find out. I'm like, where did they get this book? Who wrote this book on black folk don't do? Is this a book I can buy or something? Is this somebody at the head? Who's in charge of this black folk don't do? Who's
There's
the
not a book,
president?
Blaine. Hey, there's not a book, but there is a culture. There is
Exactly.
a upbringing,
Because I said,
and a
who
lot of
told you that
times,
black folk don't do like this? Some
right,
black person, the authority of blackness, society of blackness. You got to pass the
right,
blackness test. What's this blackness test?
a
Who
blackness
set the
test.
rules up? Did you get a?
Wait,
Did you
wait,
get a? Is it a club? Did you get a membership or whatever? Come
it is a
on.
club. It is a club because we find people who are not capable. Here's the thing. And here's what I tell people, and I stand on this, Blaine.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a certain kind of person, man or woman, to be a hunter. Not just
Exactly.
to, especially to be a hunter where you hunt by yourself.
Uh huh.
Because with me, I go into the woods, the mountains, most of the time by myself.
Uh huh.
I am fully capable and confident in my ability to survive anything.
Okay.
Most people aren't.
Okay.
Most people don't have it in them. I mean, it's a certain thing that's in a person, and
Mm-hmm.
most people they know they ain't got it in them, so it becomes cool. Just like somebody who can't read,
Mm-hmm.
they know they can't read, so it becomes cool to be like, no man, I don't read books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you dumbass can't read. That's why you
Exactly.
ain't doing it. So
exactly.
same thing with hunting. Oh man, I don't hunt. Yeah, because your dumbass can't get out there and survive. That's why. You
Exactly.
don't know nothing. So when people, so people kind of make it cool to kind of not know how to do something.
Exactly.
And so with me, like I said, I'm a whole different kind of animal.
Uh
I
huh.
mean, hey, words cannot explain that. I'm an entirely different kind of animal when it comes to hunting and being that force to getting other people outside because I don't buy into the BS that people often try to sell. I don't
Exactly.
buy into the boogeyman stories,
Mm-hmm.
and I really don't tolerate nobody who does because people like
Mm-hmm.
that almost like a cancer.
Yeah.
You may have a group of people who want to go out there and learn how to hunt, learn how to, survive in the outdoors, learn how to shoot guns, be proficient in their outdoor skills. But yet you have somebody saying, no, we don't do that. The white folks gonna get you.
Mm-hmm.
That person needs to
Exactly.
be taken out of that environment, put somewhere else because they are a cancer to that environment, into that
Exactly.
community.
Exactly.
So I don't tolerate that kind of stuff because I've seen it all my life. People who kind of just sit there and just be that cancer inside a culture or community that stops other people from doing things.
Okay, all right, man. I like that. I like the answers, man. Excellent. You're excellent guest. Now,
I mean, I'm just being real.
okay, all right, cool. Because I definitely want to go ahead and spread this word and stuff like that. That's what I got the podcast for. Thataintblack.com and That Ain't
Hmm.
Black podcast to sit back up here and try to break black people, out
Break
of
the
these,
barriers.
yeah, break the barriers and get out the mode. Now, you want this about hunting. Now, you sit back from your front page and stuff like that. You do it all and stuff like that. And I definitely want to push people towards your website and everything like that. Now, go ahead and is there any kind of more information that you can give the listeners, someone listening to this show, as what to do? You're a black person, what to do, what kind of steps to take. You already went over, but go ahead and reiterate that. What to do, where to go, who to talk to, how. Go ahead, give me the
Right.
411 on it, bro.
Okay, the 411 is this. If you want to start hunting, if you want to learn how to hunt, how to get started,
Hmm.
one is to try to contact someone who's already a hunter. You
Okay.
look in your community, at your immediate surroundings, see if you know someone who's a hunter. And here's what I'll tell you: the hunter doesn't have to be a black person.
Okay.
A lot of people prefer, and I can understand. A lot of people say, "Yeah, man, I know I can go hunting with Mr. Bob or Mr. Jim or Mike, but
Hmm.
I'd rather go with somebody who looks like me, a
Yeah.
black person." That's
Exactly.
understandable.
Yeah.
But once you find someone to take you hunting, or to find places, you can reach out to different people in Facebook groups and Facebook clubs. Um, the thing I'll tell you is this, though: you need to find someone who's going to be sincerely interested in mentoring you, because a lot of
Hmm.
people are just, hunting can be a selfish sport. It can be a group sport, but it can be
Hmm.
a selfish sport because they don't want to bring in additional competition for the same resources that they're after, the
Uh-huh.
same pieces of land, the same whatever. But that's how you do it. My website is www.nontypicaloutdoorsman.com. You can go to my website, email me about if you have any kind of pointers. I've lost count of how many people across the country I
Hmm.
have coached on how to get started with hunting. Or I've lost count of how many people I've taken hunting. But get your hunter education. The opportunity is there, and I would tell all of you all who are listening: do not listen to that fool who is telling you don't go because the white folks gonna get you. Because
Exactly.
I guarantee you that fool that's telling you that wouldn't be caught dead out there doing what you are trying to do. So
Okay.
listen to people like me. Listen to other guys out there who are proficient hunters, known in the outdoor circles in the black community. People who have a sincere interest in teach you how to hunt. And again, I said in the black community, a white person can do the same thing. A white person can take you out and teach you how to hunt just as well as a black guy can,
Okay,
or a
well, let me
black
go
woman
ahead and
can.
throw a little curveball in here.
Okay.
What about if there's a female listener? Because I remember I was talking about it and stuff like that. And my niece, I love her and stuff like that. She said, "Well, take me." And I never thought about that before and stuff like that. And she joked around, "Well, hell, the women be doing the damn cooking. Who the hell you think they shouldn't be involved in stuff? What about if a woman wants to get involved or a women's group or something like that? Can you give kind of any kind of advice on that?"
Same thing. With me teaching and introducing people to outdoors, I don't discriminate.
Uh
A
huh.
lot of guys like to have men only events. I don't believe in that.
Mm
I've taken and taught. If you go on Facebook right now and look at just go to non-typical outdoors on the Facebook page
hmm. Uh
and
huh.
scroll down to episode 5, season 2, you will see two women that I did episodes on. I'm
Okay.
working on women episodes this time around for season 3. But the same thing. I mean, I make no difference between man, woman, or child when it comes to introducing people to the outdoors. Sometimes I hold women only events where I
Okay.
only, where I just make it for women, because some women have emphasized that, hey, sometimes we feel a little comfortable if it's other women out there, not men, like
Exactly.
we're trying to
Exactly.
compete. And so I can understand that.
Mm
But as I often said, and you'll see on some of the stuff I have circulating around on the internet, I'm the messenger. My
hmm.
job
Okay.
is to deliver the message. And I don't care if a person is male, female, child, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever. Um, I deliver the message and show people what we do.
Okay. All right. All right. Another question I want to ask and stuff right there. Again, it's like I want to same old thing again and stuff like that.
No,
What
it's cool.
about
Ask away.
okay? What about stuff that you see on TV? Because a lot of times people they want to try to see something on TV and they, oh, I see it on TV. I can go ahead and do that. And what's the difference between
Uh-huh.
what you see on TV and what's real? Because I don't want people to sit back and, oh, I watch this hunting show. I don't go out there and do this like this. One dude, he sat back, jumped from behind a bush, and had a knife in his hand and wrestled that bear to the ground, and wore the skin on his boots. And come on, man, what's it between reality that they see on TV that's fake and stuff like that, being real hunting?
Well, the thing for TV, and I learned this myself, Blaine, when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
producing an outdoor show, because my show has just been, this is coming up on my third season. And starting out, I never had to worry about filming, catching a shot on camera. I was out there just to hunt. But I've learned that what you see on TV sometimes may not be the real way that the hunt went down. Because on TV, oftentimes most commonly, we often see a hunt that ends successfully with
Yeah,
somebody has having
yeah.
something on the ground. That's not always real. A lot of times you may go out two, three, four times and
Don't get
still not get
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah, exactly,
So,
exactly.
so a lot of times for TV, and one thing about my show that people have commented on, and email me about from around the country is that they love the way I keep my show real.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
yeah.
I always keep it real. If you watch my episodes, you watching pretty much 99% of what happened.
Hmm.
There's no scripted. There's no like like I'm not talking about bad about swamp people, but in every swamp people episode, there's always some drama.
Yeah, exactly,
No
exactly.
matter
Come
what, it's
on,
always
yeah,
oh, you
yeah.
know.
Come on, man.
Sometimes I mean, I thought everything was real for a while. I'm not saying that it's not, because I never have been behind the scenes, but
Hmm.
it can't be drama every time.
Exactly.
But I would tell people that, when it comes to hunting, there's different stages of hunting. And as a hunter education instructor, we talk about this. First, you have the shooting stage. The average person who haven't hunted that's listening to your podcast would be in the shooting stage.
Hmm.
They want to hunt. They just want to shoot something just to say, okay, I shot something.
Exactly.
Then you have other stages such as the limited out stage, where okay, it's not about just shooting something. Okay, I want to get my limit. If I can shoot 6 ducks, I want to shoot all 6 ducks. If
Uh-huh.
I can shoot, 10 deer in Georgia, the limit is 12 a year. If I can shoot 12 deer, I want to shoot all 12. They
Uh-huh.
run to that stage sometimes. Then you go into the trophy stage, where after they've shot things a little bit, they kind of limit it out a little bit. They want to go after just trophy animals.
Uh-huh.
And on television, we see a lot of that in those TV shows. When you go out, a lot of those shows, some of them are free range, real wild deer.
Hmm.
Others are high fence pen raised deer where they don't really have to compete to compete to survive.
Yeah.
And they shoot these big, huge, just unbelievable sized deer for these trophies. And then you have, the method stage where a person may say, you know what, hey, instead of me using this rifle, I'm going to get a spear and go hide out in the woods and try to get one with a spear or shoot one with a bow and arrow.
Uh-huh.
And then you have your stage where the last two stages, you have the stage where it's just about the stage where you like to get, it's not about the hunting, not about the killing, it's just about the camaraderie.
Yeah,
And a lot of
exactly.
people are like
Uh-huh.
that. And
Uh-huh.
then you have the stage where, the last stage where I am in my life with hunting is the giving back stage, where it's not about
Yeah.
none of that stuff that I mentioned before. It's about giving back and passing on that tradition to the next generation.
Okay. Okay. Okay, one of the biggest things, what about probably might come up and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure in someone's conversation, someone's going to talk about it over dinner, lunch, having drinks at the bar and stuff like that. Oh, you want to go out and shoot something? Oh, you must be a killer. You must be a psycho. Or they don't seen some movie on TV and stuff, and they automatically try to make some kind of alignment. Oh, you must be a mean, nasty person to go out there and shoot Bambi and oh, there's those cute little deer and those little rabbits and stuff like that. And my biggest thing, they'll be sitting up there eating a burger, eating some chicken and stuff like, and telling you about it. Oh, come
Yeah,
on, man. I mean, that's
yeah, a
that's the
lot.
biggest that's the biggest ancient hypocrite I ever seen in my entire life.
Oh yeah, a lot of those people are out of touch with reality. They think that meat comes already wrapped in plastic and styrofoam.
Yeah,
And a lot of times, they don't understand. And for some people, we have to realize, though, Blaine, that all people are not hunters.
yeah,
All people aren't against hunting. Some people just don't know. But I've heard that a lot, about, oh, you just want to go shoot something, you're going to do this. I'm like, yep. Because, like I said, there's different types of people. And there are
yeah,
some people who could never kill anything.
yeah,
And there are some people who have no problem. And
yeah,
so, basically, what I would tell your listeners and the people who are listening is that, yeah, you kind of, respect their opinion,
mm-hmm,
but you tell them that, hey, hunting is a form of conservation. This is what we do to help keep the population down. Because
mm-hmm,
here's the thing, most people who give you a hard time about hunting would also have to turn around and see 20 or 30 deer just dropping dead because of disease, because it's too many animals to food ratio. It's too many
exactly,
animals and not enough food. So most of the time, the way that you kind of get most people to kind of come to sensus is by
mm-hmm,
saying, look, one, I do this because this is where I get my food from.
mm-hmm,
Two, I do this because I help, I like the sport and to help keep the population under control.
yeah.
I guarantee you, the next time that, so if one of those people that complain about you shooting Bambi have a deer tear the front end of their car up, they're gonna be wishing that somebody else other than them killed it.
Yeah, exactly. Because the deer and stuff like that, they're smart. Deer and elk and stuff, like during the non-hunting times, they'll come on down and be in the town and walk around. But wintertime come around, they
Yep,
know they're smart. They're like, hey, let me get up out of here and stuff like that. I mean,
yep,
they'll do that.
yep. They know the times to they know when the hunting pressure is high, then they know when nobody's really posing a threat to them.
Exactly, exactly. Now, is there anything else that you want to add on to this? Because your experience, you got a wealth of experience, a lot more than I do. Anything you want to throw in here about I don't know if it's getting started, precautions, the cost, the lifestyle, the
Yeah.
gear, anything. I mean, anything else you want to sit back up here for the anybody who's listening to this show for the first time and they don't know dilly squat, they don't know their head from their ass.
hmm
What do they what? I mean, just like right now, I'll sit back up,
Email
came
me.
out. Okay, all right, all right. That's always
Hey,
good. That's
email
always
me,
good.
and I'll answer their questions personally, like I have done for countless other people. But I would tell people that there's a process. One, hunter
Mm,
education. You
yes.
can take hunter education online. However, I would strongly encourage you all to go to an in-person traditional type hunter education class. Online, you can have your books, get all the answers right, and still not know nothing, even
Okay.
after you pass the test. In class, it's going to be an in-class hunter education course will give you more hands-on experience, more interactive, experience, and you'll learn more. After you get your hunter education class, like I said, determine what you want to hunt. I would tell people to really, if you're going to be a hunter, there's probably two or three guns that you may want that will cover anything on the planet that you want to hunt.
Okay.
One is a 22 rifle. Those like
Hmm.
a rimfire. That's a small game. Some people don't want to hunt big game. Some people just want to hunt small game.
Yeah, no problem with that.
And right, squirrels, rabbits. 22 is fun. Up until this pandemic stuff happened, ammunition was cheap.
Oh man, I don't
Um,
want to don't get me started,
hey,
man. Whew.
I'm cool
Whew.
with that, Blaine, because one thing about me,
Yeah.
hey, I'm good to go. I'm good to
Yeah.
go for life.
Yeah.
So because we all have our habits, and ammunition
Hmm.
is one of mine. So I'm
Yeah.
good.
It's a good.
But
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. Yeah.
it is. So I don't care, what the price goes to. I'm good.
Yeah, because I
So
remember I seen that. I want to interrupt you. I seen that and stuff like that because they had this. Everybody's been buying ammo left and right and stuff like that. And I remember doing some research on the show and stuff like that. The hunters and stuff like that were getting concerned because a lot of everybody's gearing toward the civilian market, not necessarily the hunting market, because of course they're making more money and stuff like that. So
mhm.
a lot of the hunters are like, hey, well, we're gonna have ammo for next year, next season, and stuff like that. But I
Well,
guess it's go
go ahead,
ahead.
go ahead. No,
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 go
no, go
ahead.
ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
Okay, okay, okay. I was just gonna say, Blaine, that that's that hunter's problem,
Uh huh.
for not having ammo. Um, I believe that you should have ammo if you ain't got nothing else.
Yeah, exactly.
If you ain't got no money in your pocket, you still should have some ammo in your house.
Yeah, I'm on
And
toilet paper.
well, hey, forget toilet paper. Ammo is more important. Ammo, hey,
Okay.
I'd rather have ammo than food. So
Okay.
that's just how deep and serious I am about it. So
Okay.
a lot of people got caught off guard. There's no reason for people. Here's the thing. Then again, you have your people who like your prepper type
Uh
who would
huh.
never run out.
Yeah.
And then you have the people who don't take things too serious, like, oh, well, that never happened. Oh, I ain't got to worry about it. And then
Mm.
they get caught with their pants down around the ankle when it's time to run,
Exactly.
kind of
Exactly.
deal. So it's their own fault for not having ammunition. I don't
Uh
I
huh.
I I don't have sympathy for nobody who ain't got ammunition
Uh
because
huh.
you've had a lifetime to get it. If
Yeah.
you ain't got it, then guess what?
That's
Hey,
on you. That's
hey,
on you.
I'm gonna sound like my buddy Fred Thrasher now. So guess what? If you ain't got it, then guess what? That's your problem.
Exactly.
No,
That's on you.
yeah, my old Fred with the Survivor Sisters.
Uh
It's on
huh.
you. But once if you get your 22, you can have a hunt small game, get a shotgun. Shotgunning is a whole different game
Uh huh.
than Hummer rifles, because when you're hunting flushing quarries such as birds, ducks, rabbits, small game,
Mm-hmm.
even running squirrels, that shotgun is a gun that's designed for that type of hunting. So a shotgun is good to have. And then a rifle, if you want to hunt big game. Some people only want to hunt small game. Some people only want to hunt ducks.
Uh
I know
huh.
up around Seattle, you got a lot of, the waterfowl on the coast. But some people, want to hunt big game too. So get your rifle. Like I said, 270, 30-06, 308. Stay away from those fly-by-night calibers. And I can talk all day long about
Wildcat
those because,
cartridges. Yeah.
yeah, because I mean,
Magnums
because
and stuff. Yeah.
well, not necessarily Magnum. It's the ones that pop up and go away the next year.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because at 49 years old, I have been into guns. A lot of people get into guns. It's new to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hunting, shooting, talking about guns. I have been into guns and reading about guns since I was like 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like growing up as a child, my friends want to go to the arcade to go play, Pac-Man and Donkey Kong. I
Hmm.
want to go shoot. So guns and ammunition and calibers is my thing, what I've always been into. And over the years, Blaine, I have seen trends where calibers pop up, they hype them up, and everybody go get them, and then boom, it's
Exactly.
almost obsolete. Your short magnums, that was a craze once upon a time. You have your different, Grendel caliber, 6.5 Grendel. You got all these,
Yeah.
oddballs that pop up, and then they kind of just die off. So stick like you said earlier, stick with a tried and true caliber, something that's been around for the last 100 years or so, that ain't going nowhere. Versus just getting these fly by night calibers, that's here today, gone 5 years later. So
Okay, wait a
yeah,
minute, wait a minute. You messed up on something. Let me catch you on something. I thought you was supposed to be a hunter. What about
I
compound
am.
bow, bro? You ain't saying nothing about that. What about if I want to
Well,
go all natural?
well, you can. I have a compound bow, and we'll go deeper. We'll go with muzzleload and black powder hunting too.
Okay, all right. I just want
Hey,
to leave nothing out.
wait,
I want
hey,
to sit back and walk around some Birkenstocks and be all natural and go back to the caveman times.
we can
Compound
do it.
bow is something else too. Believe me,
It
I
is.
had one. Believe me, I
Mm-hmm.
had one. I
Com-
was like, man, you can do some serious. You can do some
yeah.
work with this. They actually take bears and stuff. Some guys do
Oh
that
yeah,
stuff.
they do. But if you want to go further back than that, you can go with a regular longbow or recurve, traditional. Let's call
Wow.
it traditional. People have been hunting with those. See, it goes back to the method stage I talked about when it comes to hunting. There's
Hmm.
different methods. A hunter who start out, and most people start out with a gun,
Hmm.
hunting, big game. It's rare, and I know a couple people who have done this though, but it's rare for a person to start hunting with a bow first before they go to a gun. The reason why is because it's easier to hunt with a rifle than it is with a bow.
Because you got to
You
do
got to
more.
be a
You got to do more scouting and stuff like that. You got to
you,
put in
you
more
got to be
work.
a you got to be a better hunter to hunt
Exactly.
with the bow
Exactly.
because it's close, 30 yards or
Yeah.
so. And you got to be a much better hunter. And the success rates of hunting with a bow are a lot smaller than hunting with a gun because with a gun you can reach out 200 yards and hit something.
But don't you get more days in it with the bow hunting? Though? I mean,
You
with
do,
bow.
you do because in a lot of states, Blaine, you can hunt. Archery season comes in first. Here in Georgia, it
Exactly.
comes
Washington
in
State does
first
too.
part of September.
Uh huh.
Washington, yeah, most states do. And then also, here's the thing for y'all guys out there and girls out there who want to start bow hunting. Bow hunting allows you a lot of different opportunities that other hunters don't have access to. As we just mentioned, we got an earlier season that comes in most states for bow. You have some pieces of public land hunting that's only available to bow hunters. You have special seasons out there that's only available to bow hunters. Same thing for his muzzleloader, because the progression of type of hunting tools, you have bow and arrows, you have black powder rifles, then you have centerfire rifles. So the bow and arrow gives you one aspect. The muzzleloading season and type of hunting gives you another aspect. Muzzleloading season normally comes in after archery, and they have some states have primitive weapon seasons where you have to use a primitive weapon. But black powder hunting is fun, and for a lot of people out there, you can buy. Well, I don't know about northern states because northern states are kind of crazy compared to the good old southern states. But in most southern states, probably most of all 50 states, you can go right into Walmart, wherever, buy you a muzzle loader and not even have to do a background check or just nothing. You can buy it. It's not really considered it's a firearm and it's highly dangerous, but it's not classified as a firearm. So you can go in there, buy one and go on about your business. Um, it offers a different challenge because unlike a rifle or a shotgun that has the powder, primer, and everything, bullet contained in a shell casing, with muzzle loading,
Hmm.
just like back in the old Civil War days in the movie Glory and other places, you got to pour the powder down the barrel. You got
Hmm.
to take your patch, if you got a patch in your ball, seat it, then you put your primer in or your flint, cock the hammer back, and then shoot. You got to do that each time you pull the trigger. So, that's a whole different aspect of hunting. And, for people who like the challenge, archery or black powder hunting may be the way to go.
Okay, now this is probably my last question and stuff like this. This is oddball question. You probably wasn't expecting this at all. Period. I don't care you white, black, green, whatever like that.
Throw it
Do
at
you
me.
believe in Bigfoot?
Nope.
No, wait a minute. No, wait a minute, brother. You're going to get in a
Nope.
fight about this because in Washington State, believe me, in Washington, I got money in my pocket right now. In Washington State, one of our counties, it is illegal to to kill or hunt a Sasquatch. This is on the record, bro. This is on the record. I got a challenge for you. I'm gonna send you this stuff overnight. FedEx this. It really is, man. You cannot. It's illegal. Automatic, like killing somebody to shoot Bigfoot. If you was ever out there, if you ever came across him, you would shot him and killed him, you would go to jail. And this is a law here in Washington State. I got the county and everything.
Well, check this out. In Oklahoma, I think it's Oklahoma, they just opened up a Bigfoot season.
Yeah.
Okay. You can buy your hunt license. Yeah.
When they open up in a bar or something like that, they go, hey, man, let's go out and hunt Bigfoot, man.
No, it's on the books. You can go buy your hunt license for a Bigfoot license. You can go buy your hunt license for Bigfoot.
Okay, now fine, but do you believe in it? You been out there, bro. Come on, man. You ain't seen none of his cousins, none of his people, none of his relatives?
Here's the way I look at it. I don't care how much that license costs. I ain't buying that because that license can go on that money I spent for that license can go on another box of bullets and ammo. So, nah.
All right, man. All right. We're going to have to talk about this later on, man, because I done talked to some people, man, they swear to God, man. They swear to God. They got some rangers out, some park rangers who will sit back and look you in the face and tell you, you are a damn lie. That Bigfoot does exist.
I know. They also tell me that leprechauns exist and scared of ghosts, as they say, ghosts. Okay. Not ghosts, but ghosts.
Well, you know, our people, man, I believe in them, okay? You know, some black folks, we believe in ghosts, okay? Come on. This is a black thing. We believe. I got some brothers out there, man. Ain't no black folks in no horror movies. I'm just going for evidence for me. How many horror movies do you see black folks in?
A handful.
Okay, that's why.
Hey, but check this out, Blaine. I bet you that your black folks, you know, they're scared of ghosts. They also scared to go hunting, ain't they?
Exactly.
Scared to be after night. You see the correlation?
Exactly.
You see that correlation?
But some are more real than others. I'll go ahead and leave it on off on that. Okay.
All right.
All right. This is Blaine Perry from ThatAintBlack.com to That Ain't Black podcast. And I'll have my man Eric Morris from the Non-Typical Outdoorsman. I definitely want to go ahead and look up his information. Go to his website and get off your butt, get out that bar, get off that couch, and get on outdoors. Again, this is Eric Morris coming from Non-Typical Outdoorsman.com. Go ahead and look up his information. Go ahead and he's out there and about there. You want to go ahead and get with him or get somebody else or get someone and get on and get your butt on outdoors, okay? That's all I can say, and this is all he's going to say. Go ahead and give your last word on this, and then go ahead and take it away, Eric.
Well, y'all, hey, thanks for listening to me. Go like Blaine just said, hey, get out there and go hunting. Don't let nobody stop you from doing what you want to do. Instead of associating with people who tell you you can't, associate people like me and the other guys and girls who will tell you that you can. Go to my website, hit me up on Facebook, and whatever you do, get out there and start hunting.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, man. You've been a really, really great guest. Thanks a lot,
anytime.
Man. All right,
anytime,
man.
Blaine.
Good. Have a good season, man, okay?
All right. Okay, you too.
Okay.